So the other day we were talking about having charisma and showmanship when you engage in street activism or classroom activism with people. What do you have to say about that?
I think you got to be alive. Don't be a robot. Show your emotions. Be animated. Look what I did. I was a dramatic individual. I'm dramatic in nature, so I let it out. If you're not dramatic and you're too flat, get dramatic. Be animated. Entertain people. Be humorous if you have to. Use some truthful sarcasm. Whatever it is, we live in a superficial society. People want to be entertained, right? So you got to entertain them. So you saw the speech that I did. It was an entertaining speech. If you ask somebody to watch a 70-minute speech and it was boring, they're not going to get through the first 5 minutes. People got through mine. Why? Right off the bat. Let me make a disclaimer. Today's speech doesn't necessarily reflect the views of your teacher or this institution. People are giggling already, right? Now, I hit them with serious stuff, though. You hit them. Everything's got to be serious. You can be serious and entertaining, serious and animated. So I think it's really beneficial. Don't be so robotic. People don't really take it in as much. But always remember, bottom line, it's still about exposing animal exploitation. So you can do it, though. It doesn't have to be this ultra robotic serious. I mean, be serious, but it doesn't have to be a robotic formula.
And I can definitely attest to what you're saying, because I've had the same experience here on the street after probably 120 interactions now. Being robotic doesn't really keep people engaged, whereas being a little bit more lively and energetic, it really helps you.
If you have to. I'll give you an example. This wasn't even on the street. We went out to a Middle Eastern joint the other night for dinner. Of course, we can't help but always bring it up, especially we're all ordering vegan food. So the host brings it up and he says, well, I tried it once, but I didn't feel right. And I think we were designed to eat meat. Well, he was a heavy-set guy. So I went like this. I said, that's meat. That's not vegetables. And guess what? He went mad. He giggled and laughed. I broke him down. Then I said, hey, why don't you spend some time watching my speech? And I wrote it down on a piece of paper for him. He said, okay, I will. But everyone's like, I can't believe you touched this. I'm like, why? It's playful. Listen, guys that have big bellies are usually playful, by the way. Let me just dispel this rumor that they're going to be angry. Of course, pick and choose, make sure. I just knew, I sensed it that this guy would be giggly, but that was playful. If I would have just went into a standard robotic speech, this is horrible, this is exploitation, he would have been like, moved on, but I engaged him. I was animated. I was alive. So just play with people, man. Play with them. You can do it. You can mess with them however you want. I'm telling you, it's going to work.
Thanks, Gary. That's a wonderful tip.
Okay.
All right.
Keep up the good work.